I'm a mom to three great kids who give me life and purpose and joy. And I'm a second generation immigrant of parents that came to this new place for new opportunities. And my partner's Kenyan, and every day is something new to figure out and learn from.
You're interesting again because you did the program twice. So there's like things you were facing the first time, like challenges the first time, and then you sort of had, what was it, like 3 years in between? 3-ish years. Yeah. So it's like you decided, way back in whatever month that was this year, to come back and do it again. So I would love to kind of hear what challenges you were facing maybe the first time when you decided to come in, and then what brought you back.
I felt like life was happening to me. And
Mm.
all of my like those tennis ball machines, right? Where it's just like
Mhm.
I was just knocking tennis balls coming at me off my court.
Mm,
I don't
mm.
play tennis, I don't. And so
I see the visual though.
yeah, right. It's just like knocking them out, as opposed to like getting in front of it and
Mhm.
proactively curating what my life felt like. It was just like responding to everybody else's everything.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, I'm good at it. Like I am a good project manager in terms of like just getting everybody else's things done.
Mm.
But there was none of me in that.
Mm.
And so I was taking care of everybody else's everything. And I just wanted some help and guidance about how to get in front of it, because I was
Yeah.
just reacting.
What brought you back? Why, like, were you facing particular challenges, or like, what was the thing that was like, hey, it's been 3 years now, I want to do this again?
I needed some time to kind of like sit with it
Mm-hmm. That
and
makes
have it
sense.
make sense so that I could actually have the understanding to move and act
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
integrity and alignment.
You did do a lot of deep digging in that time.
Yeah.
You did do a lot of sort of unpacking and unlearning and shedding, that then you came back, I feel like, a different person, and then more ripe and ready in the second round, that like, whoo, we
Yeah.
went deep.
It was a whole thing. Yeah. It's kind of like those the paleontologists, right? When you're talking about digging, that was exactly what I was thinking in my head. It's like when you're like digging, because you're just trying to find where, the bones are laying. And then when you get
Yeah.
in there, then you have to do like the brushes and stuff to get like be super gentle and like know what you're working with, but you've got to do
Yeah.
something. So the first time around was the digging.
Can you
Yeah.
speak more to the accountability piece?
Just knowing that I'm showing up to people that care and are as busy as I am. And if they
Mm,
have time to do it, I can make time to do it. And we're all doing it out of care for this community and
mm,
out of care for ourselves. And
yeah.
there's like, yeah. And so I think the second time I learned a little bit more about accountability to myself,
Mm.
but I had to get there.
That it's enough to show up, it's enough to be who you are, it's enough to like just be with what you have and what you know, and you're still going to get a lot of value, and you're still going to give a lot of value. So I feel like the structured accountability helped you move through maybe some of the, maybe normal resistance that would have come up if you were self-paced or whatever. It's like, Rupal, just show up. Rupal, just come. Rupal, just be there.
Something that you told me that finally made sense, that consistency doesn't have to be, on a timeline that's like
Right.
regimented, that it like on a grid, on a every Tuesday at 4 I show
Yep.
up
Yep.
and, reflect. But that consistency means that I'm just staying accountable to myself
Yes.
and like keep moving forward towards the me that I want to be.
We definitely had lots of conversations with, what did we call it? The gremlin, the little
Troll.
the troll.
The
Yeah.
troll.
Can you
Yeah.
explain the troll for the people?
The troll was real funny, which is funny because it came out later as like the lava monster for somebody else. It came out
Yep.
as a gremlin for somebody else.
Yep.
But it was like a piece like in my brain that would like, as soon as I would get to some moment of like transformation or change, of unlocking something, of unlearning something, of exploring a different way of being, of trusting myself, that was a big one. A troll, like I would keep describing all the journaling, all the reflection activities. This troll kept coming up and telling me no, like talking down to me, telling me all
very mean,
real mean, real mean,
real mean.
And telling me all the ways that like I wasn't enough, not good enough. And, you know, a lot of that is coming up from my own stuff, being a kid of immigrants, where it's like I'm stepping in 2 countries, 2 cultures, 2 languages. Like I'm never this enough and I'm never this enough. And I'm always just trying to like just learn enough to like be okay. It was just really fascinating to learn how to talk through the fact that, you know, that voice was a self-defense mechanism at some point, was a coping mechanism at some point, was security, was all of these things that allowed me to become this person that I've been able to become. And also recognizing that it also I don't need to exist with that voice in the same way. And the second time around was beautiful, because then it's like not just ignoring it, but also understanding that it came out of a place of love and self-preservation. Learning how to nurture that voice up into something that like is also a beautiful part.
One of the things that I see and witness in your, you know, just like becoming of you and your transformation is like, you've literally changed the way that you speak to yourself. Like, because it would verbally come out, just the self-criticism or whatever, just the harsh. And I'm like, hey, Rupal, do you recognize what you're saying? And now you don't say, it's not that those things never come up or, you know, whatever, but it's very different. And it's created this space for you not only to speak loving words to yourself, but also to others, but also to receive love. We're getting deeper. And so even if it's uncomfortable, it's not full resistance. It is hitting, you know, and I feel like that's just amazing and something that's been really beautiful to witness in you. So I had to bring that up. There's so many places and spaces to get knowledge. So why is this program different in your opinion?
Globally thinking about like how this work fits into systemic change, fits into interrupting generational traumas, fits into maneuvering through the world differently, and how that is a piece of breaking down all these systems that are harmful, that are ubiquitous, that are like the ether that we live in, and how working inward is also so impactful working outward. And so all of it is like, this is the regenerative part of all the work that I do externally fighting systems. Very, you know, depletive. And so it brings me back to the purpose of it all. If you're breaking things, you need to be creating things. And so I love the fact that we do both so seamlessly, right? Where it's just like, we have to be thinking creatively. We have to be visioning out the world that we want to see while we're breaking down the things that are bringing us harm.
And balance, again, like alignment, it's not static. I think that's what people think. Balance equals static. But I feel like we're like, no, balance, it's always moving. You're always sort of like figuring out, you're always finding the alignment, but you can find it because it's being aligned to you and what you need and what you want and being whole. So how has the program impacted you like emotionally and in your relationships? Do you feel like that has really shifted for you?
My choices are more clear. Like more things feel like choices.
Which is so different to why you said you came in the first cohort was life feeling like it was really happening to you. rather
Yeah.
than you really making life happen. And look how much it has changed. Would you recommend the Mama Master Plan program? And what advice would you give to a mama who's maybe considering it?
It called to me. It took me a lot of work to like finally sign up. It took me a long time to like figure like, yeah, a lot of back and forth with you, but like it called to me.
Yeah.
And then it became an easier and easier decision to keep going just
Yeah.
because it's magic.